Hi there, my name's Jackie Leibowitz and I'm the Water Resources Program Assistant at University of Florida's IFAS Extension Sarasota County. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to install a cork disc rain sensor. Did you know that Florida state law requires homeowners with automatic irrigation systems to have operating rain shutoff devices? So a rain shutoff device is any kind of device that's going to shut your system off after significant rainfall. So Florida has sandy soil, and so homeowners don't really need any more than 3/4 of an inch of water per week to irrigate their turf grass. So if you get a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of water of rainfall in a given week, you can go ahead and shut off your system, and your rain sensor is going to help you do just that. So cork disc sensors operate by having these corks inside. And so what they do is they absorb any rainfall and they will expand and then press on the edges of this container here, and that will in turn signal to your controller that it is time to turn off your irrigation. So if your corks disintegrate or deteriorate over time, it's very easy to order replacements. All you have to do is go online and look up the model and the manufacturer of your rain sensor, and then get the corks appropriate for that type of rain sensor. And then it's just as simple as, like you saw, pulling it out, putting them back in, and then resetting your threshold. So this kind of rain sensor also comes with something called a vent ring, and so this helps you delay the amount of time that it takes for your cork discs to dry out. So right now it's set so that there's very little area exposed to the air, and so it's going to dry out a lot more slowly. Now if you turn it a little bit so that there's more area exposed leading to your corks, that's going to help it dry out much faster. So we recommend in Florida, because we're dealing with that hot sun, go ahead and keep your vent ring in this position so that there's not a whole lot of space for air to enter and dry out your corks prematurely. All right, so I'm going to show you how to set your rain sensor so you can get the most use out of it. So it's been found through research from the University of Florida that the most useful setting to have your sensor on is the lowest. So that would be the 1/8 of an inch. Now we're in the middle of dry season right now, so I'm having it be a little bit higher. So it's at 1/4 of an inch. And so most of our rainfall events aren't going to really exceed 1/2 an inch of rainfall, but that doesn't mean that your turf isn't getting the water that it needs. So all you have to do to adjust is turn your little dial, press down if you want to bring it down, and then bring it up if you want to bring it up.
So the first thing you want to do is find your irrigation controller. And before you proceed, it's very important that you disconnect the power to your controller. That way you won't suffer from any unnecessary electrocution. Then you'll want to open up your controller and locate the rain sensor port. It's usually labeled Sense or SENS, as you can see here. There should be a little yellow wire in the shape of a U in both ports under Sense. Go ahead and use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen the metal clamps by turning your screws to the left, and then remove that yellow wire. But be sure to hold on to it in case you need it later. Now this particular model of sensor has 4 wires we'll be using, these 2 red wires and the white and yellow wires. The 2 red wires are what is going to give the power to the receiver, so those will pair with the existing red wires on this controller, and then the white and yellow wires will go into their respective ports in the Sense section of your controller. Now we won't be using this green wire, but some models of controller might require it to work. Therefore, we just went ahead and taped it off with some electrical tape to keep it nice and protected. So go ahead and thread your wires through any opening on the bottom of your controller. Now we'll loosen the clamps on the vac ports here and insert both the red controller wires and the red rain sensor wires. So if you want, you can carefully twist the exposed part of the smaller sensor wire around the thicker controller wire to connect the two together. So each of the two vac ports should have both a red controller wire and a red sensor wire. To tighten the clamp, rotate your screw to the right. You should only need to tighten the wire enough so that it won't budge if you pull on it. Next, we're going to do the same thing with the two sense ports you see here on the right. So go ahead and take your white wire and put it in the left port, tighten, and then put the yellow wire in the right sense port and then tighten that. So after you've done all that, you should be set to go. You can plug your controller back into its power source and make sure your receiver is working by quickly pressing the manual override button. It should light up on the receiver and on your controller. Now, when it comes to mounting the rain sensor itself, there are a couple ways you can do this. Your kit should come with a set of screws and a mounting bracket if you need it. If you have a gutter available, you can mount your sensor by extending out the metal bar and using the specialized screw to tighten the connection. If you don't have a gutter available, you can mount it to a nearby wall or fence using this mounting bracket. When it comes to mounting both the receiver and the sensor, consider using these yellow plastic anchors here to help secure the mount to whatever surface you're drilling through. Okay, one last thing. Be sure to set the switch on the bottom of your sensor to rain before you install it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and mount our rain sensor. So this is the rain sensor portion of our wireless sensor. So this little wire here is going to signal to the receiver that we put near the controller, and it's going to let it know that, hey, we've gotten enough rain from this storm. So you want to find a gutter where you can mount it, and then your kit should just come with a little screw, and you want to make sure that it's nice and tight. And it's as easy as that. You don't even have to drill any holes.
Do a quick test of your sensor by taking a nearby hose and spraying at the sensor while one of your nearby irrigation zones is running. After a few minutes of water, your sensor should turn off your system. If it didn't, something might be a little off. Here are some tips to try. You can clean your sensor, move it to a better location, change the battery, check your wiring, check the box connected to your controller, and replace your corks with new ones. If none of that worked, you might need to replace your entire unit. Thankfully, they're easy to find and fairly affordable. Not to mention, it'll easily pay for itself during the next rainy season. Remember to check your sensor at least once a year.
All right, so you just installed your very own cork disc rain sensor. Congratulations! It was hard work, but it's going to pay off soon. Just wait till the next rainy season and you're going to be seeing those savings immediately. All right, so this was Jackie with the Water Resources Department. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and contact our office. We're IFAS Extension Sarasota County at Twin Lakes Park.